Hello and welcome to Constellations interviews for our upcoming conference in San Diego, no, not in San Diego, in Virginia Beach, October 5th to 8th, Bridging the Divide, Healing the Personal and Collective Soul. And today I'm happy to interview Jim Shine. Jim's topic is Harnessing the Power of Rituals in Constellations. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you, Linda. Good to be here.
Good to be here. And I'll just tell the audience, we were just talking about meeting in San Diego. That's why I had it in my mouth.
Yes, we both attended that. It was, I enjoyed it quite a bit, as I usually do these things.
Yeah, these conferences are amazing. Actually, why don't we talk for a moment about why people should attend these conferences?
Okay. Well, I'm assuming anyone watching this has at least some kind of passing interest in constellations. And this is a place where you can hear a whole bunch of pretty experienced and talented people in a short amount of time and get exposed to a lot of different techniques. It's a little bit different from an intensive where, you do a lot of, you might have some keynote speakers, but then you break up into smaller groups and work on issues intensively. That won't happen here. It's a lot of little talks, but we are making it a point to have active learning, preferably constellations, but at least some kind of active learning in each of the talks. So it won't be like going to lectures all day. There should be some pretty powerful stuff going on. And, it's like going to a big all-you-can-eat buffet. It's, all kinds of people. I know I'm the lead on the Nature Indigenous Wisdom Science track, and I know, my track, I'm very excited about a lot of the people that are presenting in that. Francesca Mason-Boring, Sarah Payton, Leslie Nips, Susan Schlosser, they're all, old hands at this, and then a lot of new people like myself, my constellation partner, Ronnie George, Comeau Williams, Jeffrey Rich. Betsy Bergstrom is a big name in the shamanic community, and we've coaxed her into coming. We're very excited about that. Chuck Cogliandro, the drummer, and Sonny Jackson, Elizabeth Donnell. Anyway, there's a lot of good talks. So,
absolutely,
and that's just one of the 4 tracks. So,
right. Yeah, there's so much to learn. It's a great way to learn, connect with people, deepen relationships. I love it. So exciting. So exciting. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you. Let's talk about harnessing the power of rituals and constellations. Jim, tell us about your presentation.
Well, I guess back in 2015, I became aware of, a lot of times in a constellation workshop, there'll be an opening and a closing, and that those can be powerful rituals. And I watched a ritual get created at a burn read intensive in 2015. It was very powerful, and then it spread all over the place, and we started using it in some of the workshops in our Washington community, and it just, it's like, wow, this is really cool. And I was taking training that year from Francesca Mason-Boring, who, is half Shoshone and very ceremonial, ritual and all that, and we were doing openings and closings, and, I tried one out, and it did really well. And then in the monthly workshops that I do at home with my partner Ronnie George, I've experimented and with pretty good results. Trying to, the field is out there, and for some reason, rituals seem to intensify the effect, hopefully in a positive way, of people in the field. And at Francesca's bidding, I wrote a little article on it in the Knowing Field in, it was January 2016, and I've just continued playing with it. And as I've studied it more and more, it's like the whole constellation process itself with the healing statements, there's ritual components everywhere. And so my idea for this talk, and seemed to be well received, was I'm actually going to give a little presentation of rituals, not just in constellations, but all over society, political, religious, sports. It's ceremonies and rituals in everything, and they're powerful. And then, I'm obviously going to feature a couple of rituals of my own in there, but then I feel like we still have things to learn. We can work with the field, and we don't have to stay with the same rituals. You know, it's like there's some great rituals, there's great traditions that we want to keep, but you know, it's kind of like we're sort of musicians. We want to play our old music, but we want to make new albums once in a while. And so, you know, the field itself is emerging. I've seen that happening just in my work and training this year. And so if the field's changing, and, you know, we got all these indigenous cultures coming in, and then these big national cultures, and huge mix and match, and, you know, and frankly, difficult times, and what can we do to kind of maybe guide the ship a little bit? So that's kind of what I have behind it. And in the workshop, I'm going to break people up into groups, and they're going to work on, you know, making something on their own on different topics, and then we'll bring it together at the end. That's my vision of the talk. So.
Oh, that's exciting.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
I
really like the idea that as you mentioned, the knowing field is changing, and actually an opening and closing ritual alivens the field quite nicely. And I didn't realize I was doing one. I didn't call it a ritual, but one of my clients one day said, "Oh, that was really powerful," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'll keep using that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Come across something, even the healing statements. I mean, if you're not very directed, it's like, I know there's times when I'm out there and I'm trying to work with the field. You know, I'm trying to work with the field. It's like, okay, I'd like some healing. I can't force it because it's the field and not me, but can I try saying this? I mean, this is just my style. It's not everyone's style, but try saying this. And they're like, no, that doesn't sound quite right. And I'll, you know, play with my brain a little bit and try a couple things out until they're like, yeah, that's it. And then I think Hellinger did that at the beginning of the healing statements. You know, I am big, you are little. You know, all those classic. They didn't, you know, just come down to him like the 10 Commandments. He was in workshops playing around, and this one works, this one doesn't. It's actually sort of a science experiment if you look at it that way.
Yes. So. Yes. Excellent. Cool. Okay. So how did you get into the idea of constellations in your life? I understand you have an interesting story.
Oh, well, my first career, and I still do it part-time, was as a mathematician statistician. I retired from full-time work in 2013, which is kind of left brain for this field. You know, oh, he's the statistician, but someone I was working with some of my own healing journey.
Oh dear, was that the warning that the electrical work is not going to work? Oh. Jim told me he was having some work done at the back of the house, but I think it was on public land. Maybe they were calling him to warn him it was going to cut off. Oh dear. Well, it looks like we've lost Jim. So I just want to mention that you can find more information. Hi there.
Okay, where did you lose me? Where should I pick up?
I was so discombobulated. I don't remember. Okay, left brain from...
okay, you got the statistician part?
Yes.
And okay, well, let's pick up from there, and if there's a repeat, you can splice it in. I discovered Constellations as a, you know, working on my own journey, trying to deal with my own family, like so many of us. And, you know, person I was working with said, I think you'd be good at this. You should take this training. And I said, you're kidding me? I'm not this type. This isn't me. You know, I'm a statistician. You guys are all, you know, healers. And they said, no, you can do it. So I was like, okay, I trusted this person. I took the training and I really loved it. And afterwards, a group of us continued to meet in a practice group. And for several years, I basically had one morning a month that I made a priority, and I carved it out of my schedule, and we would meet one morning a month, and the practice group evolved into more, organized. We started bringing more people in. There were 5 of us originally. Some of them dropped out, and then in 2013, when I retired, I had more time and energy, and I always loved this stuff, and so, hey, I'll go to an intensive. I'll go see what someone else in my area is doing, and I just, for the last 4 years, I've had the gift of the time and the energy, to pursue it. And our group is now down to 2, myself and Ronnie George, a lot of you may know her. She's on the board of directors. She's doing a talk as well. We do monthly workshops together, and we each do other things too. But just kind of grew from there. And once I got into, I'm very fortunate. The Washington D.C. area where I live has a nice little nucleus of community of facilitators. So you can do something just about every week. I know I get people I've been in training with that are in smaller areas. They're starved for contact sometimes, and I realize how lucky we are. So I try and take full advantage of that, and that's basically my story.
Cool. Yeah. Yes, you're lucky if you can have something to go to every week. That is fun.
Almost every week, but yes, we are very lucky, and I'm lucky to be in a position where I can do it. I don't I still do some part-time statistics, but I can work that around. I just love this stuff, and people say I'm good at it, and I certainly like the feeling of being able to help other people out in a way that I never would have thought possible even 10 years ago.
Right. Excellent. Yeah, cool. It'd be interesting to talk to your friends to see how you've changed, right?
Yeah, probably so. Well, I guess that's true of all of us.
Yeah. But I mean, from a statistician to a constellator, that's a big step.
Well, I'm still a statistician, but now I use both sides of the brain. I'm a rare one. I guess I'm bridging my own divide.
Excellent, Jim. Well, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. And you can meet Jim at the conference October 5th to 8th in Virginia Beach. And we hope to see you there. Please check out our website, nasconstellations.org. Thanks again, Jim. We'll see you there.
Linda.
Okay,
see you there.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.